What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to this photo. The Tekken update has arrived, guys. So let's jump right on into it because there's a whole lot to talk about. So the first thing is, guys, is that in the login event, we do have this login right here. And if you guys check into this gift box, you're going to get some experience bottles the first time you open this thing. You're going to get some capsules whenever you open up the second time, and you're going to get a platinum set card when you open up the third time. And then the fourth time, I was really hoping that we were going to get a change of kit, but instead they gave us summon tickets. This really isn't as good as getting a change of kit. That was much better during the Street Fighter collaboration. However, it's still okay, right? It's still free tickets, but it's not a guarantee, man. Them change of kits were so much better because we actually, they're the equivalent of 3 actual memories. To do a change up on a character, you need 3 actual memories for them, and that would have been way better than this. It's still good, but yeah, it would have been better if it would have been a change of kit. So I am a little disappointed to see that. Now, when we get out of here, guys, when we get out of the login event, I mean, there's other things also in there as well, but we don't need to get in that right now. We get the Tekken Honor mission. Now, you're going to be getting these tokens. You're going to be getting these badges, which you can actually put up on your screen, which is actually pretty cool, right? And those tokens are actually going to be used later on for the crafting event. And here you can actually use those tokens to craft for this badge right here, which is actually pretty cool. And whenever you get memories for Nina, you can actually use 3 of those memories to get a memory for Alyssa if you choose to do so, or a memory for Classic Hwang if you choose to do so, which is actually pretty cool. This is exactly what they did for the Street Fighter collaboration, where they actually had, the Fest version of Chun-Li, where we could use 3 memories of her to get memories for Bison or Luke. So this is actually really good that they did this if you get extra memory, because all you need, guys, of this character right here, all you need is 1 memory. Once you get that 1 memory from the banner, if this is the character you're pulling for, that's all you need. That's all you need, and then you just level her up through the game easily. You can easily just get regular memories that you can combine, that you can actually create through the game completely for free. So if you get 1 memory for this character and it's the only one you're looking for, then you might as well stop. Although I'm pretty sure most players are probably going to go further to push for other characters. Then we have, this here. Now, this is a nice little token event. These are the tokens that we're going to be using to get this lovely lady right here. Good old Nina, guys, the EX version of Nina. And I'm pretty sure most players are going to be able to get this character to A3 completely for free. Now, I do think that maybe there might be some players, maybe like, a veteran that might have all the characters limit break. Maybe they won't be able to get as many of these as they should. So I think Netmarble should really reconsider maybe having this requirement. And then also the dream match. There are players that really do have a lot of trouble getting in those dream matches. I know it's only 25 coins, but every little bit helps, especially when you're free to play. So it'd be really nice if they remove this, switched it to something else. That would actually, I think that would help out a lot. I mean, look at this. You got daily dream match here, and then you got, a win dream match here. I mean, that's 75 points a day, and some players do have problems getting into there. So I do think they really should alleviate that and actually remove it. Then we have the Tekken Dice game. Now, in the Dice game, guys, you're going to be able to, do, so many rounds where they're going to give us so many dice every day, and you can farm for dice in the Rush Dungeon, which is actually really good. And when you go all the way to the top, guys, you can get an SS memory, which is actually really, really awesome. But we can farm for these memories in the game through a game mode called Demo Space. You can get some rubies in here. You can get these hammers that will work on the Tekken collaboration stones, and so have you. Some infinity items, some of these coins right here for Nina. So you're definitely going to want to be pushing up here to at least get these coins to try to get, more memories for Nina, which is actually really, really good. I don't think this is going to be a problem for any players. This is going to be a 20-day event, and I do think players are going to be able to farm. I mean, if you're farming in that Rush Dungeon, which you should be anyways for that free card set, then you should end up getting enough dice to finish this thing completely. Let me know later on or down in the comments, guys, if you do think that will be a problem, but I don't think it really will be. Then you get to the event Codex, where whenever you level up your characters, you're going to be able to get, the Tekken Stones. You're going to be able to get this thing here. You're going to be able to get the All-Star Purple Souls. And, so far, guys, it's just these 4 characters that are in here. We're going to be getting Devil Jin in the classic version of Hwang in about another week, so do be patient for that. If those are the characters that you are waiting for, they will show up in about 1 week after this. And if you take a look at these stones, guys, I mean, whenever you take a character to A1, you're going to get this stone. A2, you'll get, the second stone. A3, and you'll get the third stone. On these stones, guys, the bonus is actually pretty good. Increase attack by 11% for 5 seconds when a Tekken fighter lands a critical hit on a 10-second cooldown. So not bad, right? And then I think just double attack, right? Probably by 10%, I would imagine, is what it usually is. And then you go to the next one, increase target damage C, which is still pretty good. Nothing really spectacular or really different as far as the second stone is concerned. Then the third stone is insane for CP because it gives you a critical damage bump. That is insane. And this collaboration really is going to be just like what it was with the original Tekken collaboration, where you're going to be able to gain an insane amount of CP, guys, through this if you do pull for the cards especially. But let's jump in here, guys. So we go into the rush dungeon, right? Guys, don't farm in this rush dungeon until you get to the very third one, right? Don't farm in this. I mean, play this today to go ahead and get your rubies for the day, but don't farm, don't use your AP in this thing until the very last, till the third day, because this is where you're going to get more bang for your buck as far as how many of these coins you're actually going to receive. So do keep that in mind. Don't farm it today. Only farm just to get these rubies, and we're going to be getting these dice. Now, this card set, guys, you'll be able to farm for 2 of these sets are pretty nice, guys. They all increase attack by 10%, so 30% increase to attack, which is insane, guys. That's awesome. And it is a fast set, and it casts a critical hit shield that absorbs damage for 5 seconds when tagging in a Tekken fighter. So when you tag in your Tekken fighter, they have a shield. They have a shield, guys. They won't take any damage. I mean, I knew it was only a matter of time before they started putting these shields on the card sets, which is actually pretty damn cool, right? But whenever they take a critical hit 4 times, the shield will be removed. They also get a decreased damage received by 99% for 5 seconds when HP is 30% or less on a 12-second cooldown. So every other 7 seconds, this will be up if they're taking damage, guys. They're going to be tanky as hell with this set. They are going to be very hard to kill because of this set. It's honestly definitely worth farming for the Tekken characters, especially if you're going to be pulling for them. It's honestly an insane survivable set, or survivability set is what I should say. Then you should be farming your gold hammers, all these dailies you should be doing every single day. And of course you want to be farming your capsules also every single day. The card set is honestly really, really OP. Very, very nice for you, those that are new to this game. Whenever you do farm, you want to be using all these characters they put down at the bottom, all these card sets that they put down at the bottom, so that way you have, you increase your chances, or you increase your coin gain rate, so you'll be gaining more of these babies right here, okay? So do remember that. Then we jump in here, and we go into the dream match. I mean, I don't know why we clicked on that. You guys know what dream match is. I don't need to go over that. And then we go to the Tekken 7 get ready for battle. I don't know what the rewards are in this, guys. We'll talk about that in another video. But the good thing about this is, like, in one of these, they put this version of Nina, who you can level up throughout you can level her up, no problem. If you get her one time, you can max her out completely, especially if you've been playing this game for a long time. Obviously, new players won't be able to do that. But for us veterans, we're going to be able to easily max her out and probably finish this thing without even pulling for Alyssa or Hwang, which is actually pretty damn awesome, guys. And then in this banner, you can actually use the free character. So by the end of this event, most players, I would think, I mean, we'll see what the CPU requirement is, we'll see how difficult it's going to be, but I would think that most players are going to be able to finish this thing and get the maximum rewards out of it with that free character. So it's honestly really great the way that they set it up. I really, really like it. Then we have the boss Showdown Devil Jin. This is spectacular. You guys can see that I've already cleared 26 of this. I will talk about this in another video, but this is spectacular, guys. I don't want to really go into too much detail about it because the video is already going to be super long, but this is a really, really fun game mode. And let me tell you what, when you turn all this up, this guy is an absolute nightmare. Oh my God. And there's some good rewards. And oh yeah, by the way, I want to click back on here. And you're going to want to finish this thing because you're going to want to get, these final rubies. But this change of kit, this is where they put the change of kit for, Hwang, Nina, or Alyssa, guys. The native EX characters don't need this because they're already EX character. But this is where, so a lot of players are really going to be trying to get up to this, tier 29 in order to get that change of kit. Because again, that is the equivalent of 3 actual memories for those characters. And I'll talk about that game mode in another video, guys. Then you got the Come At Me. I haven't even played this, but in this game mode, you're going to be able to get some, ores for your characters, which is actually pretty cool. You come in here, and you're just going to be fighting, opponents on both sides of you. You'll click on an arrow over here to fight the opponents on this side. You'll click on an arrow over here to fight the opponents on the other side. So it's honestly pretty much a self-explanatory game mode. And then we get out of here, guys, and we go into the summons where we take a look at these cards. And these cards are OP, guys. This Dream Match cards here, these are nutty. This first card gives you an increased Tekken Fire critical rate by 7%. The next card, which is insane for CP, the next card gives you 35,000 CP. for all the Tekken fighters. And then the third set, or third card, gives you 30% chance to charge 5 power slots upon landing an active skill. This is exactly like the combat set, and we saw how strong that comeback set is. And this is really important because the way this thing works is whenever you do 5 bars, or for every 1 power bar, you gain 22% extra attack, which means when you have 5 bars of power, you're going to gain 110% attack on top of gaining 70% critical damage for Tekken fighters, and only Tekken fighters, guys, and the deal additional damage equal to 250% of attack to the enemy upon landing an active skill. This is OP as hell, guys. It's absolutely a set worth pulling for, especially if you're pulling for these Tekken characters. It is insane. Then you look at the 3PG for Hwang here. Critical rate increase, critical damage increase, really crazy, especially with that Tekken set. Then you go to, Alyssa's, increased attack by 12%. For 10 seconds, which is really great. Then you go down to Nina's, which contains 12% power when using this skill, right? So not too bad. Then you look at the option cards, and Nina's option card increased critical rate by 2% and decreased skill cooldown by 1.2 seconds. But this one here is crazy, guys. Increased critical damage to Tekken Fighter by 20%. And it still has a decreased skill cooldown, and it has increased Tekken Fighter critical rate by 8%. This set, along with that Tekken set that's in the game, like that's in the banner, this is going to, their CP is going to be absolutely bonkers. Just crazy, crazy CP. And then we have Nina here, who we're going to take a look at right now. All of us going to be able to get for free, more than likely 83, with these tokens. And when you take a look at Nina, guys, yellow defensive fighter, right? Increased Tekken fighter attack by 60%, decreased attack cooldown by 2 seconds, which is awesome. And then pretty much a lot of the same typical things we've come to see when it comes to cores. I'm not going to read all that, guys. But then this is what's crazy. She is immune to all types of explosion. Burn, poison, bleed, shock, chill, and darkness, and starlight. This girl won't take damage from explosion skills, guys. Every character that has that 5.5 times explosion or whatever, she won't take damage from them. She's immune to it. Think about that. Do you know how strong that makes this girl? That's crazy. And then she has a decreased damage received by 99% for 4 seconds when attacked while HP is 30% or higher. So if you use that Rush Dungeon set on this girl, she is going to have insane survivability because she'll have this, and she'll have the decreased damage received by 99% when below 30% HP with the Rush Dungeon set. Think about that. Think about that, guys. That is crazy. And then she can reset her cooldown back to skill 2 or 3 upon landing a skill on a very low cooldown, and then resets cooldown of Blom Bomb. Blom Bomb, love the name. And increase attack speed up 50%. This is actually very, very good because whenever attack speed increases of these characters, you can just run through your animations a whole lot faster, which means a lot more damage, guys. It is nice whenever you do a forward roll. So something unique and different for Nina. And then she has increased attack by 10% with 50% HP or higher. And then increased critical damage and defense by 10% for 5 seconds that upon landing a skill that stacks up to 5. This can stack up to 50% extra critical damage. Think about that with the Tekken set, or the new Tekken set is what I'm calling it. Or the fact that she gets increased defenses by 50%. Which she does gain damage from because she's got a skill that actually increases her attack based off defense. And then, Fated Retribution, which all the Tekken characters have, increased critical damage by 70% at 10 or more combo hits, preserves 50% of damage received, and recovers 1% every time a skill lands. So she also has a built-in heal, which is crazy, guys. Really, really crazy. Then you look at her EX skills, guys, right? You look at the first one where you need 2 PG. It's called Assault, right? Activates Bad Habit on the target when a skill lands. Deals physical damage equal to 550% of attack for 0.15 seconds for 1 second. Okay, right? And you can do that, every time you have 2 bars of PG built up. And then her hand down one here, PvE exclusive, resets cooldown of active skills, resets attack cooldowns, and decreases EX skill cooldowns for all team members by 4 seconds. Very interesting effect that she's got. And then you go into her first skill where she has hyper armor for 4 seconds. She has increased attack of defense by 55%. And remember, she gets another 50% from her core, right? That's a lot, guys. That's a lot. And she has an interrupt skill. And then her second skill is a tap and go skill where it can stun all enemies the first time you tap it, which is crazy. No matter where they're at on the screen, she'll stun them for 3 seconds. And then she has increased target damage received. And then when you tap it twice, she gets the physical damage increase. This is something new, by the way, the increased physical damage. It's always been increased damage received, but now they've added this physical damage equal to 120% of attack to all enemies every 0.2 seconds for 1 second. And then you go to the next one. She's got another tap skill here, where the first time you tap it, she gets an attack buff by 50%, and she gets the physical damage equal to 550% of attack. She also gets a huge heal for her and all of her team members, exactly like EX Shermie's, where we recover all team members' HP by 5% on a 3-second cooldown. Very nice. And then when you tap it twice, increase physical damage equal to 120% of attack to all enemies. And then PvP exclusive disables all enemies' critical hit shield, or damage or immunity upon use, making her devastating in PvP. I'm not going to watch any of her skill previews or anything, guys, because we've seen all that in the trailers. There's really no need to do that. So let's take a look at these characters. So now we got the other version of Anita, and this is the Fest version. This is the version that you're going to be able to level up throughout the game. Once you get 1 memory for this character, you can actually level her up, right? No problem. Right now, it's only going to be EX Nina and this version of Hwang that's in this banner that you're not going to be able to level up unless you pull for dupes. It's the only way you're going to get extra memories for them. But she gets an amazing leadership, increased purple element fighter attack by 65%, which is just insane. And then her core, she has 20% PG rate. I'm not going to go into all this. She does have a stun duration decrease, which actually makes sense when you look at her kit. And then she gains 50% power upon doing 20 or more combos. This is only 35% cooldown, but it's a huge, huge PG gain. She's going to go into her 3 PG extremely fast. And then her PvP exclusive remove attacker's buff from their active skills when attacked with 1. And then increase attack by 6% for 5 seconds upon landing a skill. This stacks at 5, which is an increase in attack by 30%. And she has an insane heal, 20% recovery when attacked while stunned. So whenever she's stunned, she's going to get a 20% heal. We'll see how that plays out, guys. But, I mean, on a 10-second cooldown, I mean, that's pretty damn nice, right? And we'll see how that plays out against Devil Jin also, because he does stun. Now, her EX skills are exactly the same as EX Nina's, so we're not going to get into them. But her first skill here decreases target defenses by 30% for 7 seconds upon successful skill. Increase target damage received by 35% for 4 seconds upon landing a skill. Her second skill is a tap skill, where it has an interrupt skill the first time you tap it, has hyper armor or super armor, for 4 seconds, and 80% chance to reset cooldown upon successful attack. The second time you tap it, deals an additional damage equal to 30 or 50% of attack to all enemies upon use, and stuns all of them for 3 seconds. So again, she's got that insane CC effect that can stun all enemies on the screen. And then her third skill is also tap and go skill. So it has increased attack by 80%, which is insane, guys. I mean, that's crazy. The first time you tap it, and then when you tap it twice, it deals additional damage to go 350% of attack. I mean, it's the same thing as if she's got multiple stuns in her kit, guys, on low cooldowns. Like, she's going to be able to CC the hell out of people if they're not immune to stun. And then, all this other stuff, we don't need to really get into this. She does give a heal to the Tekken fighters, which is actually really, really good. And then we get into Alyssa. Now, Alyssa here, you can actually combine memories. If you want to try to get her, there's always a chance you might get her, but more than likely you're probably going to have to pull in the banner. Now, she does have a nice leadership for, especially something like time attack, because they gain 5% power when defeating an enemy, and this only applies to Tekken Fighters plus a 30% attack buff. It is nice. She's got 30% PG rate, guys. She's an SS character, so you can level this character up through the game. I mean, if you just get her once, you can level her up, right? But you're going to have to get 3 memories for this character, 3 actual memories for her, in order to do a change of kit for her, unless you get the change of kit for her through Devil Jin, right? So it's something else to keep in mind. But you can level her up to A5, no problem, without any memory. If you just get her once, you can just level her up to A5 if you want, if you don't decide to use a change of kit on the character. She has a bleed attack increase, poison attack increase. She's immune to poison, burn, shock, stun, petrified. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Increase active skill on bleeding targets by 60%. She has a CDR core by 0.2 seconds on poison targets. She has a PvP exclusive, 20% chance to deal 4% of target's max HP as damage upon landing a skill, which is something different. That's cool. She also has a built-in heal when attacked by a target with 70% HP or higher. So as long as her targets have 70% HP or higher, she's going to get a heal. And then she has a decreased damage received by 90% for 5 seconds when attacked. And then you take a look at her kit, guys. Her EX skills. The first one, Body and Soul. This resets attack cooldowns and increase all teamers' critical damage by 40%. Interesting. And then Heavy Blow increases all teamers' strike skill damage by 40%. Interesting. Now, she's got a pretty unique kit, just like Hwang, as you guys will find out here in a second. So the first skill gives her a hyper armor for 3 seconds, gives her attack buff by 30%, right? It's an interrupt skill. She also has an attack buff by 30% of defenses on her second skill. She also applies venom damage or poison, which is nice. And then her third skill actually is an interrupt skill, and it also has another attack buff and increases strike skill damage of all allies and self by 30% for 15 seconds upon use. So she's actually going to be a really good support for anybody on the team that has strike skills. Now, when you tap on this little icon here, this is when she changes her stance. So you click this and she changes her stance. So now these buffs have changed and her skills have changed. So now, when you change your stance, all team members retain 4% power upon use on your first skill. She has a 50% attack buff, which is crazy. Applies bleed. She stuns all enemies for 3 seconds from her second skill. She has a 7% chance to remove hyper armor and super armor. I mean, it's powerful stuff, guys. And then her third skill has an attack buff by 25%. And she increased critical rate of all allies and self by 6% for 15 seconds upon use. This is actually really, really cool what they've done here. The fact that she can change her stance and change her skills. That's really, really wild and really adds something different and really special to a mobile fighting game like Kofus. I mean, actually, I think it's spectacular. And then she has a pretty wild default. Whenever she does her default, guys, she has a 6 times explosion. This is the most powerful explosion in the game. The problem is it's on a default. You're not going to be doing this all the time. So there's going to be kind of niche in certain game modes where it's going to be useful, but it's going to do a lot of damn damage when you use it. It's going to be nutty, guys. It's going to be crazy. And then we get into Hwang, who is a blue attack. And his leadership increased all Tekken fighters by 65%, which is nutty. He has 30% PG raise. He's got the increased damage on critical hit, which is awesome, guys. Decreased burn damage. He's immune to stun, freeze, petrify, and fear. I mean, these guys are immune to a lot. Enters fury state for 7 seconds upon using an active skill. Deals physical damage equal to 200% of attack to the target every time a skill lands. Very, very powerful. Decreased damage received by 70% with targets with 30% HP or higher. Immune to damage for 4 seconds when attacked by enemies with super armor or hyper armor, which is actually pretty damn cool. So anytime someone attacks him with super armor or hyper armor in PvP, he's going to get this immunity on every other 6 seconds. Yeah. And then he has increased attack speed by 10% for 7 seconds when using active skills on a 10-second cooldown. So every other 3 seconds, this will be up. And deals physical damage equal to 120% of attack when a critical hit lands. So again, another big buff. And again, guys, just like Lissa, you're going to find he's got some pretty cool stuff going on here. So the first time, his concentrate here, actually decreases Falcon Dice Kick skill cooldown, decreased by 100% for 3 seconds upon use. We'll talk about Falcon Dice Kick here in a second. And then the Shred, the other EX skill that he has. And by the way, guys, all the EX skills that I've looked at, you have to have the character at A5 in order to unlock that. So do keep that in mind. He gets increased physical damage received for all enemies by 35% for 15 seconds upon use. Now, whenever you do Skyrocket, he's going to have an interrupt skill. It's going to have hyper armor for 4 seconds. It's going to have a 70% chance to remove hyper armor and super armor. The second skill gives him a penetration by 1500, which is great for damage, and increased target damage received by 28% for 6 seconds. The third skill actually gives him an attack buff by 30%. It's also an interrupt skill, and he also decreases Falcon Dice Kick cooldown by 3.5 seconds when used. You're probably wondering, where the hell is Falcon Dice Kick? Well, when you click on this, lo and behold, there she be, guys. And whenever he switches stance, he's going to get an attack by 38%, which is insane, guys. Deals physical damage equal to 550% attack. His second skill is going to increase his critical rate by 30% for 3 seconds upon use. This is an insane buff, especially, guys, if you have that Tekken set. I mean, having that 7% extra critical damage, I mean, especially if he does a lot of hits, it's just going to be nuts. And then the third skill has an interrupt, another attack buff by 30%, decrease Skyrocket cooldown by 3.5 seconds, and Skyrocket is the first skill. So, like, he's got a really unique and wild kit. It's honestly pretty cool. I have to say, I got to say, I think they might have done old boy really, really great, to be perfectly honest. And then his finisher increases target damage by 15%, which is insane, guys. Really, really awesome. So, I mean, guys, like, the characters look OP. They're going to be OP. I'm pretty sure you already know whether or not you're going to pull for these characters. And the card set is definitely worth pulling for if you do have the rubies, guys. And remember, if you're only pulling for this character and you get one memory for her, you can stop if that's all you want to do. But this video has been long enough as it is, guys. Let me know what you all think about the Tekken collaboration. And I do stream on Twitch at 9 p.m. GD+7 time. The link is in the description below. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one. See you, everybody.